Yeah, I'm Nikolai, and I'm not a technician. I'm an artist, visual artist, and I'm gonna present you the other Nefertiti, a project which we did recently. I say we because I didn't do it alone. I work with a colleague which will give tomorrow. She will give tomorrow a talk as well, and I'm gonna briefly through what we did, so you get an idea of it, and then we're going to talk about the role of museum in as a gatekeeper, and I try to link our world from the culture and from a cultural heritage perspective to what tech and science can do with it, or where are the links between these two. So the Nefertiti is a bust. The bust of Nefertiti is a more than 3,000-year-old artifact, which is stored in on display in the Neue Museum in Berlin, and it originates from Egypt, from ancient Egypt. And 100 years ago, or more than 100 years ago, it was brought to Berlin. And it is public available for those who can travel to Berlin and to visit and pay their entrance fee to the museum, and then you can have a look at it. But the high-resolution data, which the museum scanned the object and is not available to the public. And this object stands for thousands and millions of other artifacts which are stored in museums around the world. And me as a German, I have this perspective on European museums, and it's always, when you visit these museums, you can feel the notion of colonization which goes along with these artifacts. So we decided to okay, now we planned a coup, and we figured out where the watchmen around the museum, these busts were really high secured, and there are 2 permanent watchmen and 2 more in the pathways. So we figured out the rhythm, how they move, and then we stepped in with a scan device and scanned the bust. So finally we did an art heist by a digital art heist, if you want. So, and this is a video. You can see it online. I go through because we have to hurry. And this is the outcome of this heist, and it's really high resolution data set. And then on the CCC Chaos Computer Congress in end of the last year in Hamburg, we released the data online. So if you go to this address, you can download a high resolution data set of this Nefertiti if you are interested in 3D printing or stuff like this, or just play around with it in 3D programs. And I mean, what's about the aim to do this? We reclaim the cultural institution as a public space again. So we don't want administration to decide what is culture or not. We are the people doing the culture. So it's not up to the institution or some administration guys to decide what is culture and what is culture about. And but we come later back to this. I'm gonna step. Then we this was on the airport security. We made a 3D print, and we traveled to Egypt to exhibit this bust for the first time in Egypt. So in the airport, if you for non-Egyptian arrival, you have to sign these papers, and you find the image of her as well there. And in the airport as well, in the entrance hall, you can find this sculpture, which is meant to be Nefertiti as well, but so there's no access. They had to do it like this. And another example is this one, which is a huge one in some entrance of a village, which a sculpture did, and it provokes a lot of viral reaction in the internet, so he had to remove it again. Before we exhibited the bust in Egypt, we launched this video. It's very hard to see, I guess, but we staged a second find of a second bust. So in the internet, on YouTube, you can find a lot of videos from guys who are digging for artifacts, because it's full of artifacts over there, and then they try to sell it on eBay or on the internet. So and this illegal market, it's allowed UNESCO. Maybe they can correct me, my former speaker. It's the third biggest illegal market in the world after weapons and drugs. So this is really an issue, and but I can't go deeper into this because we have to move on. But it is an issue, really. So then we exhibited the bus there in downtown Cairo for the first time. And we launched in the German newspaper. We told them, in the newspaper, we told that we're going to release the data. And the journalist called us the Robin Hoods of antiquities, and thanks for that. And now here's again the domain where you can download it. And now I try an experiment. I don't know if it worked. This was the reaction of all what on the internet, of all the people that downloaded, and this is the experiment. Okay, the reaction was huge. There was a lot of people scanned, printed it, and played with it around, and then they called us double gangster in Holland, in Netherlands, and the New York Times had to go double through it because there were some discussion and false information inside. It was a huge discussion, on BBC took it up, and but now I want to come to what it is about, like why we did it. I mean, I'm going to read this maybe. With this controversy of ownership in mind, Al-Badri, my colleague, and Nelles also want more broadly for museums to reassess their collection and the critical eye, and consider how they present and the narrative of objects from other cultures they own as a result of colonial histories. The fact is that from a European perspective, most of the cultural heritage is from the global south. So we storage the heritage of other cultures, and this leads to, I'm gonna make it more quick. These are the museums. Sorry, I'm lost. I skipped this. Okay, museums serve as an ideological role by separating artifacts from their origin and depriving people of their historical memory. So there's a huge movement and ideas around the scene, that these kind of museums either should be closed down or merged with other museums, or else reinvented as centers for multicultural debate, says the curator from Tropenmuseum in Amsterdam, which is especially it's a good example, this museum particular, and it is about possession. It is to possess these objects is the only function which stays when the decontextualization happens. So you get it out and you bring it to another context, and then the function is it's not there anymore. And there's by the way, the most visited museum in Germany is a BMW museum. Like, you have to imagine, it's about museum and it's about culture, and the most visitors reclaims or goes to the BMW museum, like for cars. This is something what I concern about. Which I think there's a lack of considering of the conception to have something or to be in it. Sorry, I'm a bit lost actually. Our role is to. I think what's important here, it's that we can use how can we use technology. I'm an artist. I'm not an expert in anything. We have help from experts, and friends of mine are good hackers. But I reclaim hacking as a piece of art as well. Like to do something with technology, and as well I consider some of technicians, they are more artists than only technicians. But it's always the dual use. It's always what you are doing with it. So. I think we can use technology in so many ways to preserve cultural heritage, and I'm so lucky that UNESCO is here as well. They are trying to work on this field as well, but it's important that it's not we can't give it up to some institution or governments to do it. So there's a cultural value which has to come from us, from the people, and we have to reclaim the museum public space, and we can decide how we're going to use the technology. And the open approach or this FOSS approach, I think this fits very well with what we are thinking on culture and on art as artists.
And with that, thank you very much.